Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown,
the unofficial sumo podcast
for official sumo fans.
Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown. This is Ryan.
This is Jake.
This is Flerick.
and this is Mac.
And this is our midway review for the Haru Basho. We are recording this after day 6, a little bit earlier than usual, but some people in this room decided they need to go to a wedding over the weekend.
That sounds good.
I think we all know who you're talking about here, Ryan.
Yeah, you.
Yeah, I know.
That sounds like a fun time. That sounds
I
like
agree.
a great idea.
That sounds like an awesome time.
Yeah, Flerick and Mac, you guys can come with.
Hey, cool.
Especially now that spring's here and it's not freezing cold.
Yes, here in Iowa, all of our snow is gone. We're very happy about it.
We have flooding, though.
We've got plenty of that, too. We've also got a couple of corrections from our preview episode that we need to make. First and foremost, some person in the editing bay of the podcast decided to play the wrong voicemail left by our correspondent B in the field. So let's go ahead and play the correct one now.
Hey guys, B here. So, maybe it's me, but I just don't understand the booking this tournament. Did they have a shuffle in the front office or maybe some restructuring on the writing staff? Because it's like they had 8 different storylines going but couldn't commit to just one, so instead we got a bunch of half-finished and abandoned plot lines. I mean, we go into the tournament with this young guns versus old guard thing, which is a great way to start off 2019, but then they pulled the trigger on Kizuno Sato finally retiring. And what's the payoff to this year-and-a-half build for one of the biggest through lines in company history? Just a day 4, Intai. But fine. So now we move into a which young native Japanese guy will rise to the occasion sort of deal. Which again is fine. They give us that future sumo match with Takakeisho and Matakayumi, and they build up Onosho and Yago and Chiunokuni, and then everyone just starts losing and going Kyujo. And as a side note, I'm really not a fan of this whole is it a work or is it a shoot injury thing they did the whole tournament either with like 8 different guys. And so fine, they pivot again to Lol Hakuho wins. Old faithful at this point, right? But then Hakuho loses to an injured Matakayumi in a match that, well, let's just say if they're dumb enough to do that god-awful storyline from 2010 again, that's on them. And then Hakuho just pulls out. Was this a creative thing? Is his contract up? Is he going to film a movie or something? But the most baffling part is who got the final rub. I like Tamawashi fine, but with all the young guns and rising stars and new blood, you go with a 34-year-old mid-Carter Mongolian journeyman? Don't get me wrong, I'm happy for the guy. I thought his whole shooter storyline with that arm throw last year was well written, but I just don't get it. I'm going to see if the Sumo Wrestling Observer has anything about what's going on and get back to you guys. I'll see you in March.
Made about as much sense as the wrong voicemail we played earlier.
Well, to be fair, when somebody was editing this, somebody heard Ryan keep saying Kyushu during the beginning of the episode.
Yeah,
So somebody got confused, and that's when I put in the wrong one.
that's fair.
Anonymously.
Yes.
Whoever edits these. I'm not really sure.
Yeah. One other correction, mostly Ryan related, is I mentioned at Sumo Follower is somebody good to follow for updates on training and just anything sumo related. I unwittingly referred to her as a guy, since found out that she is a girl, and so I apologize for assuming your gender.
And Ryan has been fired from the podcast.
How dare you?
This will be my goodbye podcast, so I hope you enjoy Flerick, Jake, and Mac trying to flounder around a podcast.
Hey, Flerick has proven he is a competent bus driver.
Yes. That one time I did not crash that bus.
Indeed. Competent enough for me.
All right. Did we have any other corrections or anything we need to do?
No, but we did have another announcement. We had another member of our team turn 30 very recently here.
Yes, we did.
So for this episode, I've got a number of fun Macs lined up.
God.
So over the course of the episode, I'll share a few of those. First off, did you know that Mac's parents are huge computer nerds? His name is actually short for Macintosh.
Oh,
really?
I did not know that.
Yes,
That is
you
very
We're
good to
supposed
know.
to say that.
Well, I've seen your driver's license. It's kind of silly.
I need more whiskey.
You've had enough.
You do
No, I haven't. This is one of the rare occasions where I can actually enjoy myself.
Hell yeah.
All right. All that being said, let's get to the Midway review.
That sounded really depressing, Mac. Are you okay?
Let's continue on with the podcast.
All right. We've got two leaders at 6-0. We have Hakuho.
Woo!
And we have Ichinojo, who has strung together 6 impressive days.
Heck yeah.
Pardon?
He's been looking like a beast.
He has. He's been slapping down everybody left and right.
Yeah, this is like Ichinojo 2, Ichinojo 1 style.
Oh, yeah. When he was at his
movie.
best form, and that he's progressively gotten weaker and weaker, it seems, as the movies go on.
As our previous guest, Wada, might say, Snorlax is awake.
Snorlax is very much awake, and we'll see how long that can continue. Behind Hakuho and Ichinojo, we have 6 guys at 5-1, Kakuryu, Goedo, Takayasu, Aoyama, Kodo Shogiku, and Ryuden, all at 5-1. Which out of those trailers have impressed you the most?
Trailers?
Huh?
Trailing behind the leaders.
That makes way more sense.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for clarifying.
It's much better when you explain what that is. Good job, Ryan.
Thank you.
I think for me, the one that was most unexpected is Kodo Shokuku's been looking awesome.
It
Yeah.
makes me happy because I believe Max selected him to get a Makekoshi in our prediction series.
Okay, I would like to add, the 3 of you had picked all my other picks, and I was floundering when you got to me. I was like, crap, who else? Kodo Shogiku.
You poor thing.
He always
Yes,
seems
yes,
to blame
have
us
pity for
for
me.
his prediction series losses.
Would you like to go back to the snake draft order itself?
I would not.
Yeah, but it would have been a safe bet normally because normally,
exactly.
normally he's kind of a little bit questionable. Like he's always on the edge of either Makekoshi or Kachikochi. So like coming into this, like I would have assumed that he was probably going to lose more than he was going to win.
Well, I wanted Shodai, Fleric.
Yeah, he's awful.
Yes.
We'll get to that more later.
But yeah, Kodo Shogoku, I think it's not that we didn't think he could perform well in a match, but it's kind of refreshing and surprising to see him perform well in like 6 straight matches.
Yeah,
Well, he
the
lost
Aoyama
one.
one was
That's a good
not
point.
a competition at
He
all.
got wasted in that sixth day match.
Well, my other reasoning behind Koto Shogiku was because
Oh my God, we'll get to the prediction series.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
No, but no, go ahead.
Okay, I was going to say there's kind of a nice separation between these 2 groups. I would say of the Kakuryu, Goedo, Takayasu are definitely on the top of the Bansuke, and they have like some tough competition coming up. Koto Shogiku, Ryuden, and Aoyama are kind of mid Bansuke to lower Bansuke. So they obviously can as they face more and more opponents, like they're more likely probably not going to be able to keep up in the Yusho race.
Yeah, because they're going to be starting to face, if they keep up at their current pace, they're going to have to start going up against the higher ranked people and the people with similar records to them as the tournament goes on. So they're going to probably start knocking each other off at some point soon.
But we have seen Oyama and Koto Shogiku doing quite well in previous basho because Oyama also got that Junyu show. I can't remember
It's
which
been
one
like
it was.
2 years. We need to
True.
get off that train.
That's true. But no. I'm not trying to get on that. I'm just saying Ryuden is the only one that hasn't been in this situation
Okay.
before. So for
I
me,
gotcha.
he's the one that's the most surprising because this is his first time actually being able to play, at least at this stage, with the big guns.
Yeah. I would agree with that Ryuden is my most surprising one. He's looked pretty solid.
Yeah, it's really nice to see these guys do well, like and just get a string of wins again. Like Koto Shogiku, he's kind of an old Uzeki. I love just seeing him win again. Ryuden, I've always had a soft spot for Ryuden.
Oh, absolutely.
And same with Aoyama as well. It's just nice to kind of see them.
Future Yokozuna,
It's a-
Oyama.
Oh, you know it.
Oh, yeah.
Another Junyu show on his path to the top.
What about those 3 guys that are in the Sanyaku ranks? Kakuryu, Goedo, Takayasu. Which one of those guys have caught your eye?
I think if you're asking the same thing of the most surprising, you got to look at Goedo.
Hands down.
The consistency that he's shown so far, other
We're
than
not
his
used to
one
that.
loss, yeah. I mean, it's been like a GSB meme that Goedo is going to fall apart at some point. But having at least 5 out of the first 6 is pretty solid. Nothing to be disappointed in. But like second week Goedo, I think we need to wait for the recap before we can declare that meme dead.
Yeah, I fully came prepared into this episode to like kind of eat crow about Goedo and proclaim him as the best looking Rikshi so far in this Basho. And that was true through 5 days. I would have ranked Goedo as the most impressive one through 5 days. Then he lost to Daisho.
And now he's garbage again.
And now he sucks. No,
Hot trash.
he like in his first 5 matches, he was super fast, quick movement, pushing very aggressively off the Tachi eye,
holy crap.
always
He has
forward movement.
he has a great touch. Yeah.
He's so fast. He's probably the fastest guy out there, really. But day 6, Daisho kind of disrupted that initial momentum for Goedo, kind of made Goedo pull into his secondary tactics, which is pulling. And so we know what happens when Goedo starts to pull, things kind of start falling apart for him.
Yeah, I don't think pulling in general is like too bad of a thing, but he definitely made a mistake. And honestly, looking at that match, I would say it's kind of more of a simple mistake from Goedo, less than Daisho actually beating him, because he was kind of being pushed back to the Tawara, like the straw bills on the side. And normally you put your foot there and you have like a great stance to be able to withstand some pushing.
And he
But
overstepped it, right?
He overstepped it a little bit. It just kind of went right out. And so like it just seemed like a mistake that cost you a match. But if that didn't happen, he probably would have done quite well.
It didn't seem like he was guaranteed to win or anything, but yeah, that last step definitely seemed like he just misjudged the distance, because it wasn't it wasn't that he didn't mean to put his foot down. It's that when he put his foot down, it slid because it was on the sand on the outside, and he was surprised by that. Yeah. So I think it's still, though, he wasn't like dominating that match to that point.
I mean he was tried to go for a pull down on Daisho. It didn't work, and so Daisho was very easily pushing him out at that point. Who knows? Maybe if he got his foot placement, something different would have happened.
Yeah, Daisho definitely got a great push on him.
Yeah.
You know,
But that's
probably
kind of the
put him off.
gamble with being able to pull, because we saw it with Kakuryu a couple tournaments ago, where that's all he did was try and pull, and he lost almost every single time.
Yeah,
And yet he's won almost every match by pulling this one.
Well, that's
Yeah,
true.
this
That's true.
one.
It's such a gamble to do that, though.
But yeah, so we'll see what this does to Goedo. He tends to be a little streaky. So he started off on a 5-0 streak. Maybe this one loss will knock him off track. He'll drop a couple in a row. Maybe it's just a little hiccup and he'll get right back to his dominant ways in the upcoming days. Kind of hard to tell at this point.
Yeah, he's in the Yusha race right now, though.
He definitely
deny
is
that.
in the Yusho race. Yeah.
But second week Goedo exists for a reason.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
true.
So
That's gonna
we'll
be tough.
We'll see what happens. I think he's definitely performing better than we all expected coming into this Basho, but we'll see if he can keep up with that. Let's go back to our leaders, Hakuho and Ichinojo. What do we think about Hakuho's performance so far?
I've
Shaky.
been loving it.
No, it's been good, but it's not crisp. It's not the solid Yokozuna performance that we've been used to seeing from him. Like his match against Myogiru, and then I think it was Daisho the day before. It wasn't that determined, yes, I am Yokozuna, you have really messed up by going up against me. Well, I can't think of-
you face off
But-
against
Yeah.
me?
But you know what I'm talking about. The way that he faces off against the other Rikshi, it's a definite, like, yes, you are going to lose. But these past couple, it's been shaky.
There's been that one match where I think he laid on his opponent for a while
That was,
Yes.
and took his time getting up. So
And there
he
was
definitely
that was the
visibly
Miyagidyu one.
Visibly frustrated with his performance.
Yeah, that was weird. So he beat Miyagidyu. It was a little bit of a struggle. He didn't get him down right away, but then he kind of like did the splits and fell on top of him and had a very clearly frustrated look on his face. What was up with that?
I thought that was kind of
don't know.
a dominating. It's like, ha ha. He just laid there and he was like, rah, like just
No.
yelling on top of his prey.
He was a lion roaring to defend his
Gotcha.
prey.
I beat
Exactly,
you
yeah,
down.
exactly. Ha.
No, I did not get
That's not
that
how
from
I
that
interpreted
look.
it.
That was look of frustration.
Oh, okay. That's weird.
Yes, that's why we were bringing it
Well,
up.
which match were you watching, Flurry?
You're weird.
But yeah,
Solid point, Jay.
Yeah, it's like his performance is kind of similar to Hatsu, of where it's kind of a string of like they're not. He has
Not quite as close calls.
No.
but-
Yeah, he's definitely had like I think a couple of dominating matches, but they're definitely some of them are kind of. It seems like it could go either way.
A little
Like
more
he-
rough, little
yeah,
more
a little
rough.
more rough. So what happened in Hatsu was he was still winning those, but then he ended up getting injured, and so it seems like he's not injured yet. So
He better not be.
Yeah, I think
He screwed me
part of
over
it
last
is
time.
Yeah, this one and last tournament, Hakuho has been in a lot of exciting matches, which means that he's not doing as well as he wants to be. If Hakuho is perfectly healthy and doing the sumo that he wants to be, his matches themselves aren't necessarily going to be wild and back and forth because he's just going to win them. The fact that he's been in so many exciting matches in this basho so far already, I think, is kind of showing that he's not 100%. Either he's showing a little bit of decline or a little bit of injury. That's up for debate. But it's. The fact that it's exciting just means that he's not 100% on his game.
Yeah.
He's definitely been fun to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And how good is Hakuho that an injured Hakuho is still undefeated and a favorite to win the basho?
There's a reason he's the king.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Have we ever covered that Hakuho's pretty good at sumo on this podcast?
No, I think we've
Let's go
mentioned
into
it a
that.
few times.
Just how good
Honestly,
is Hakuho?
I think we've covered more. Hakuho's hurt right now.
He's definitely hurt, but like we say, he's still the clear favorite in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. So let's get some updates on Ozeki runs. We have Takakeisho at 4-2, and we have Tamawashi at 3-3.
Hang on. We just glossed over Ichinojo.
Yeah, we did. If you have some more Ichinojo stats or conversation you would like, feel free.
No, I was just trying to incite more conversation with him because holy crap, Ichinojo, what the heck is going on?
I would say it's kind of similar to Kota Shogoku, Ryuden, and Aoyama.
I would agree.
He's been facing kind of mid Banzuke Rikishi. If he keeps up this win streak, he's going to be moving up on his competition. And I'm not convinced that he will be able to actually get those wins. So,
But he's been able to move. It's not just the immediate tachi and then leaning on his opponent. He's actually showing some footwork and trying to get his opponent out of the ring and showing some actual exertion with it. Who is this Ichinojo?
I know it's a sight to behold.
I fully expect a fall back to earth starting pretty soon.
Don't kill my buzz. Don't kill my buzz.
What he's been showing isn't revolutionary or anything like that. It's just it seems kind of like he's winning the coin flips consistently or something like that so far. But there have been a couple times. Yeah, I completely agree.
He had a great kind of head throw on one of his matches.
Yeah, and he's
which
shown
I absolutely loved.
He's shown better movement than he normally does, especially to manage 6 in a row. I mean, his movement has been great. He hasn't had anywhere he's been pushed back, because once he gets pushed back a little bit and he starts feeling that
he gives up.
That ring edge behind him, that's when he normally looks sleepy. So that hasn't happened yet, and the movement combined it's been very impressive so far. But I'm kind of with Ryan. I don't expect it to last.
It's just been impressive, at least up until this day.
Right.
We've actually seen what, if he stays awake through the whole tournament, he can actually do really well.
Yeah, I'm going to be definitely keeping the eye on him.
All right, real quick. Obviously, everybody thinks Hakuho is a legit contender for the Yusho as a co-leader. Ichinojo, anybody think he's a legit contender for the Yusho?
Oh, no.
No.
Okay.
I'll sing his praises, but no.
Yeah.
All right.
I would say probably it's going to have to stick to the fellow Yokozuna and Ozeki at this point.
Yeah, I think this is the top of the Bansuke Basho.
I would guess Ichinojo maybe pushing 10 wins tops, something like that.
I'd agree
would
with
be
that.
expected for me.
I'm
I could
still
see that.
not ruling out Takakeisho, though. If he
You think
keeps
so?
if he keeps showing that drive, maybe might get a Junior show out of it.
Look at that transition
It's possible,
into
yeah.
our Ozeki run update.
Ooh.
All right, Mac. Takakeisho is at 4-2. He has dropped matches to Mitaki Yumi, who just seems to have his number a little bit.
Mitaki Yumi, what the
Yeah.
heck?
We're not talking about Mitaki Yumi yet.
Okay.
And he also lost one to Tamawashi, who was struggling at the beginning of the Basho. And this is another one where Takakeisho kind of looked like he just accidentally stepped too far when he was looking
yeah.
for the Tawara, similar to that Goedo thing. But Takakeisho is 4-2. I think he's still on pace. I think we all think hopefully 10 wins should get that Ozeki promotion. Do we think Takakeisho gets to 10 wins?
It'll be tall. The second week's going to be
Is that a
really
short joke
rough.
at Takakeisho's expense?
Oh, got him.
Okay, unintentional.
Real
but
quick, Jake, I need a Mac fact.
You mean a fun mact?
Yes.
All right. You ever hear of a little fellow named Alexander the Great?
Yes.
Well, yes, I have.
So has Mac.
Ooh.
You're right.
And he even confirmed it by saying, yes, he has heard of
I
him.
have. You're correct.
Yeah. See, we all have that in common with him.
Anyway, back
It's
to
how Mac
Takakeisho.
really reaches out to the rest of the world.
You guys know.
Hi, my name's Mac. Have you heard of Alexander the Great?
Well, let me tell you a little bit about this wonderful gentleman who contributed. I'm going to stop right
Yeah,
there. Let's
Takakeisho
continue on.
talk.
Takakeisho.
Yeah, it's going to be a tall order for him entirely.
Short jokes again.
Yeah.
Flair, he
I know.
gets me. He knows what we're going for here.
If he just gets some stilts for his Tachiai, I think that's going to really alter his game.
No, but he's got the rest of the Yokozuna. He's got the Ozeki all next week. He needs to perform in the next couple matches.
That. Yeah,
matches.
He's short on easy matches coming up.
That trifecta has been complete. The third short joke.
Yep. No, he's got 9 matches left. Did I do the math right? Yeah, he's got 9 matches left, and 5 of them are going to be against the Ozeki and the Yokozuna. Mm-hmm. And of those 5, I guess that means that he's going to have to get at least 2 or 3 of them, and that's not going to be
Hakuho's
easy.
looking
But
good. Kakuryu's still looking as wily as ever, which means his best chances are going to be with the Ozeki, and that's a flip of the coin.
Yeah, and he's already been showing to drop some matches against Megashira and also fellow Sanyaku. So even those aren't.
He hasn't
free
dropped to
wins right
Megashira this Basho.
there. He hasn't. Okay.
No, it was
One-
Tamawashi and Mitaki Yumi.
Okay, so those are Sanyaku. That's a little bit better, but I think we would all feel better if he was 5-1 or 6-0.
Yes,
Definitely.
These 2 losses make it really iffy.
Yeah, he can only afford 3 more losses, which, I mean...
If he wants to get it this time,
Yeah. He would need
He's
to
young
go
enough. He's fine.
6 and 3.
He can continue.
So continue on his current pace. He'll have it. Let's go over to Tamawashi, who is 3 and 3. Started off 1 and 3. Has fought back the last couple of days. He probably needs a higher amount of wins to Takakeisho to get there, especially because he would be using a 9 and 6 from Kyushu. Do we think he's already blown a shot at Ozeki?
I think so, because he also has his hardest matches ahead of him. And 2 of those losses are to Megashira. 2 of his 3 losses, he lost to Mitaki-Yumi, who's a Komasumi, but Daisho and Myogiryu are both Megashira, and if that's indicative of where he's at, mentally and physically in this Basho, I don't think he's going to be able to hold up in the second week. I think it's just going to go downhill from here.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't think we're going to see him run the table here to hopefully push for Ozeki.
Yeah, I actually have a quote apparently about Tamawashi. We got from some Japanese news site of where his stated goal before the Basho was to do the Kyoku Tenho and go as long as possible. Kyoku Tenho is a longtime sumotori who started. I guess he had his debut Basho in 1992, and then he just recently retired in 2015, and he had a very, very long career. He got all the way up to Sekiwake. He got, I think, a Yusho, and 1 Yusho, and Makauchi 1 Jun Yusho as well. So he had a very long and a very accomplished career. He never got up to the Ozeki, but it sounds like from the quote that he's told some news sites is he's trying to go for as long as possible, not so much try to peak and actually get an Ozeki promotion. That's not his biggest.
That's akin to Ikiyoi and Aminishiki then.
That's
trying
possible,
to go
yeah.
as long as possible.
Yeah, he seems to be kind of wanting to go for that.
Another Mongolian, by the way.
Oh.
Tamawashi and Kyoku Tenho, both of them.
Yeah, and I think it was on the NHK preview show where they had spent some time with Tamawashi, and they also brought up that his stated goal isn't to get the Ozeki promotion. It's just kind of put out his best sumo and do as best he can, but Ozeki isn't a specific goal of his, at least not that he stated.
He won't consider his career a failure if he doesn't get it, you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I should also
He's
say
made it to Makauchi. That in itself is definitely not indicative of failure.
I mean, he's won a Yusho, so.
Also true.
That's probably higher on his list.
yeah.
A fair point.
I'm not seeing him have a single Kyujo, like a withdrawal.
No, he's another
even better.
Iron Man.
Yeah.
He's like Ikiyoi then, definitely.
Yeah. So he's definitely seems to be rather than pushing himself to get the Ozeki promotion, like trying to actually continue on with never taking a day off.
Yeah.
And
just
he's
keep
never
doing
been
sumo.
taped up as much as Ikiyoi.
Yeah.
So
That's not saying a lot, though.
Well, sorry, Jake.
So given that insight into his motivation and also the record that we stated before, I kind of agree it's not looking too good. And I would be surprised if he pulls it out and gets an Ozeki promotion this Basho.
How about, do we think he can get to 10 wins and then with a possible 10 wins in Natsu, then get an Ozeki promotion? Do we think he can get to 10 wins this Basho?
I think it's a real stretch because, like we were talking about, he's still got five out of 9 left.
He has to go
the
7 and
top
2
guys.
to get there.
Yeah.
If a couple Yokozuna drop out, It's possible.
That's possible.
I think
yeah.
that'd
They
be the way to
don't
do
look like they're going to drop out, though.
Not yet.
Hakuho didn't look like it last time either, and Kakuryu, I think I've seen him.
Hakuho did not pull out until 3 straight losses, though. So far,
That's true.
Yeah, and I would say with Kakuryu too, he had a really pained look after one of his wins. So
Which one was
he
that?
does that a lot, though.
yeah, it's
But maybe
possible.
he's always in pain.
Yeah, but we know
Life
he's
is pain.
Yeah, we know he's struggling with injuries. I would not be surprised if some matches go the wrong way for them that they would drop out. In which case, I think Tamawashi has a good shot.
All right, and then a little bit more Ozeki drama. We've got Tochi Noshin, who is Kadoban, needs to get to 8 wins to secure his Ozeki status. Started off better than I think a lot of us thought. Well, he started off pretty poorly. He started off 1-2, but he's rattled off 3 straight wins and is now 4-2. Only needs 4 more wins. Needs to go 4-5 in the remaining 9 days. Do we think that he can do it?
Again, this is a push because he's got a lot of tough matchups. 2 Yokozuna, 2 Ozeki, 2 Sekiwake left to go. So 6 out of 9 you could consider like really hard matches that are coming up. He's faced off against both Komusubi already, but of those 6, how many does that mean that he's got to beat?
He's got to beat 1.
Only one of them. So he gets his other 3 Megashira wins, and then one of those top guys would get him to his 8. Okay, I'm coming around. Yeah, I think he'll do that, but those 6 matches is still looming, and that's kind of scary because we know that he can give away matches to lower ranking guys.
If they're nice, like Nishikigi, they'll let him get his preferred grip, and then it'll all be over.
I think the most encouraging match he had was his most recent one against Mitake Yumi, where it didn't really look like he was going for his preferred grip. Like he got a grip on the Mawashi, but then immediately went to throw Mitake Yumi to the ground and just pretty much never let Mitake Yumi into that match. So I think that's Mitake Yumi's ranked lower than him, but Mitake Yumi's still high caliber guy that I'll always count that as a good win whenever you beat Mitake Yumi.
Yeah, for sure. It seems to come down whether or not he can actually play like a belt game against his opponent, because I think he always has an advantage there. A lot of his losses were the people didn't actually let him get a grip on his.
Miyagiryu match was a very good one where he blocked him from getting his grip, and Miyagiryu just easily took care of Tochi.
Yeah, so it's going to a lot come down to that, because when he's on the belt, he still looks fantastic in Ozeki. But when he's not off the belt, he's not looking that great.
Yeah, it's kind of similar, but exactly opposite of Taka Keisho, where, like if he Taka Keisho,
keep away.
if you touch his
Arms
belt,
are just too long.
if you touch Taka Keisho's belt, then he's immediately on the back foot. But Tochinoshin doesn't have a plan B if he can't get a good grip, and then he's immediately moving backwards, and all of a sudden, the match is looking bad for him. It's been tough for me to get a read on him this basho, because he seems to be moving backwards so much more than when he was on his powerful run.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's hard to say what the quality of his sumo really is. It hasn't been super encouraging to me, though.
Yeah, he's definitely still fighting injuries, I think.
But he's fighting through it. He's fought through enough to where he does have 4 wins. That's still looking good at this point in the basho. That's still looking good. Totally can still retain his Ozeki status, but he's got to keep pushing.
Yeah, I will say he's looking better than I thought coming into his basho, and I would actually change my prediction. Before, I didn't think he was going to keep his Ozeki hood. I will actually say I'm hopeful now. I'm going to say that he will.
Me and Mac are looking pretty good on our positivity for Tochinoshin.
I think he can get those 4 wins.
Ozeki.
He just has to pull it out for this 4.
You're just setting yourselves up for disappointment.
Oh, I know.
Don't I do that every basho?
Yeah, that's true.
I was about to say, this is nothing new for me.
This basho could be just complete disappointment for me. We've got Aoyama and Goedo pretty much towards the top of the standings.
You're already disappointed.
We've got Taka Keisho could blow his Ozeki run. Tochinoshin could blow his Ozeki rank.
Tamawashi could still make his Ozeki run.
Yeah, exactly. This could just be all bottoms up for Ryan. Hokuto Fuji isn't looking too great. He's only 2-4 at Komusubi. He's gone up against all the top guys, so the second week will be a lot easier schedule for him, so hopefully he can rebound there. But let's talk a little bit more about the other Komusubi. You guys were having a little bit of reaction to Mitake Yumi
talking about
earlier.
Mitake Yumi. Oh my! What the heck is up with this guy? He came in just complaining about his knee, saying he doesn't practice at all, but he's still causing a bunch of upsets.
He beat Kakuryu day one.
Yes, he did.
He beat Kakuryu. I know he beat Takakeisho, right?
Kakuryu, Takakeisho, and then some other guy.
Yeah, some other guy.
And a third one.
Was it Tamawashi?
I will tell you when our internet is back online.
Well,
Did your internet go out again?
I don't know if it's the internet or the website, but
Jake,
I'm helpless.
this is why I write everything
Same on
down.
databases down. Hey, Mac, you can look it up. That's
I
great.
do. Just one moment.
So
Vamp, Flerick, vamp.
We just can't actually listen to anything Takayumi says about pre-Basho. I think that's what it's coming down to. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. Like he seems to almost be playing a mental game where he's telling his opponents, "Oh yeah, I'm terrible. Like I don't practice at all, and don't worry about it." But he just either he's doing great mental practice or he's like doing secret practice like in another room.
It was Tamawashi.
Aha,
Hey.
nailed it.
He's just upsetting everyone's Basho. Like all the other matches he doesn't care too much about, but it's like with was it Takakeisho's first one? He had to be
He played spoiler to Takayasu.
Yeah, it's Takayasu.
Yes.
The Takayasu was Junior Show, and Takayumi just brought it that one day to just clinch it for Takakeisho.
That's true.
Like I think he really likes doing that, is spoiling other people's bashos.
Yeah, I believe it.
The one that he won was just like a happy accident.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important that we point out that it's a good thing Mac acts a lot older than his extremely old age of 30 and hand writes down all of his notes.
Hey, this
as
is when I
opposed to
make all my
using,
notes.
Like computers like Flerick or nothing like me. Just my steel trap brain.
Now you have a cell phone that you're looking.
This is
stuff
just
up.
the outline.
Oh, yeah.
Carolyn says it's the funniest thing. I'm just sitting there, just like, yes, next match. Yes. Oh, that was good. Writing everything down furtively.
And then you gotta
pausing it.
pause. You gotta pause it so that you can retuck your T-shirt into your jeans when you're wearing on a Sunday.
You know, if I were actually wearing glasses, I'd push them up right now and go naturally.
All right, I think now's as good a time as any for a fun Mac.
All right, more of them.
You gotta slow down. I don't have a ton of them.
Okay.
Well, I can supplement. What would you like to know?
Well, Mac, why don't you? No, you don't tell us. I'm going to tell us. Mac has a special talent with pineapples. He can actually swallow them whole backwards.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm going to need to see a demonstration of that later, Mac.
We'll take a look at it during the break.
Yes.
I don't have a retort for that one.
I'm starting to feel like these might not be the most truthful effects.
I trust Jake's
Did
research.
you spend the last 2 years researching Mac?
Were you watching me? What is this?
I guess not in-depth research.
I've
of him,
put
no.
man years into this study, okay?
You should really start washing behind your ears more, Mac. We're concerned.
Oh, God.
Moving on.
Yes.
Oh, God.
We need to turn it over to Flerick real quick and talk about the trashiness of Maegashira 1 and below.
Shodai is hot garbage, and I love it.
Damn it, Flerick.
What about Kaisei?
Kaisei, he always does.
Flaming hot
Also
garbage.
hot garbage.
Flaming hot garbage, but honestly, against Sanyaku, I've kind of, especially Yokozuna, I've kind of expected it from him.
Oh, yeah.
Like his basho starts now. We'll see how he does.
It's like both of the Seki or the Komusubi. You know, the guys at Megashira 1 generally have all of the hard matchups right away.
What about Nishikigi?
I'm trying to think of matches
0-6.
of him. He's pretty not memorable as matches, I would say.
But
That's-
he had a hell of a match with Hakuho where
Yeah,
he
yeah.
almost had him by Kotenage. That one was a really fun match.
Oh yeah.
And then Hakuho was like, oh, never mind.
Oh, wait, hang on. I can beat you. Never mind.
I think the point that I'm trying to make here is
Hot
Flerick
garbage?
was very correct when he said everybody Maegashira 1 and below, hot garbage. Until you get to like Aoyama or Chiyotaidyu or something like
And
that.
Ryuden. And
Ichinojo.
Koto Shogiku.
Yeah. As it should
Yeah,
be.
you-
In the joy, Maegashira is hot garbage.
Yeah, the top 16. Enjoy.
Yeah, you got to get to Ichinojo at Megashira 4 West before you have somebody with a winning record.
Yeah, I think Daisho is 3-3 at Maegashira too.
Yep.
He's doing the best.
So
there,
the
but-
zone of death pretty much is
Dead.
totally
Dead.
dying.
Already dead.
Yeah, I do want to call out. I think it was. I'll call us out later in the basho.
Okay.
Never mind. Continue on.
All right, and then just some updates on the newcomers / returnees to Makuuchi. Tomokaze is 3-3. Daishoho, is he 3-3? Do I have that down right, or is he 2-4?
Let me double check.
For some reason, I think he should be 2-4.
Is
but
is
my
your
notes
fancy
say
internet
3-3.
backup?
He's at 3-3.
He is at 3-3. Okay. Terutsu Yoshi is a disappointing 1-5. I've heard some people on Twitter suggest maybe something's not completely right with him physically.
Did he throw at his shoulder, throwing all that salt in the air?
I don't think that was it. I think the main concerns are his knees. They can't handle the weight of the salt.
Of all that salt being
Yeah.
thrown.
Toyo Noshima coming back to Makuuchi after 2.5-year absence is 2-4 in his return.
And this guy is like an uber veteran.
Yes,
He's-
we covered all those stats on our preview episode.
I just think it's worth remembering, like when I see this guy, just because of us personally, our history with sumo, it's like, oh, this is a new guy. Never mind, he's actually an expert. He's been doing this for ages, and it's only the fact that he got an injury about 2 years ago that he's not been at the top of Megashira for the whole time.
But yeah, why don't you give out his stats again as a reminder to people like us that are new to sumo, never saw him.
Yeah, he's 35 years old. He's spent like a dozen basho in the Sanyaku ranks.
A baker's dozen of basho.
A baker's dozen. That's 13. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fun fact for you right
That's
there.
a fun mact right there.
He has 5 Jun Yusho under his belt. I thought that one was super surprising because like Jun Yushos is one of the best ways that I'm aware of to like measure somebody's like actual level of eliteness and how long they've been up there.
Anybody can get one Jun Yusho. I feel like
Here
that's
and there,
been proven. But
unless you're Aoyama, where you get your first one, and you just know that there's like another baker's dozen coming.
Yeah.
As future Yokozuna do.
Man, I think did Kisno Sato actually have a baker's dozen of Jun
I think he
Yushos
had
before
12.
his
I
Yusho?
think he did.
I think it was 12.
12, yeah, okay.
Oh, was it? Oh,
If only we
Just
could
a,
look this up.
filthy old regular dozen.
one shy.
Oh well.
Yeah. I would say one thing I really enjoyed is when he went against Yoshikaze, who's kind of another old guy and
Definitely
Old,
showing his
old,
age
old
at this
guy.
point.
old guy. Like their head-to-head was like 15-10 going into the match, and in favor of Tomokaze, and he's
Toyo
Toyo Noshima.
Toyo Noshima. And so he still has Yoshikaze's number and just won that match. It's now 16-10.
Yeah, I think Yoshikaze is also around that 2-4 mark, so he's not looking the best this basho either.
Is he like 37?
He's
He's
3
up
and
there.
3. I think he's about to turn
I'm talking about-
36. I think.
Yeah, okay.
And
Yeah.
So he's Koto
Toyonoshi-
Shogeku's age. Koto Shogeku's 35, 36, somewhere in there.
Around in there. Who knows? Numbers are
but
hard.
He's still getting a couple wins. Toyo Noshima, and so I think it's really cool to kind of see him up in Makuuchi before he retires.
All right, before we move down to the lower divisions, anybody have any last thoughts on the Makuuchi division?
No, but
Go
I've got another
Ryuden.
fun mact for you.
I'm all about fun matches.
I saw Abi touch a Mawashi.
I saw Abi do a blatant dirty Hanka against
Also
Chiyotairyu
true.
on day
It
6.
was
Yeah,
so nice.
Abi, I think we're starting to see the limits of Abi's Oshi Zumo in this case. It's like he's got to have more tricks in his bag if he's going to keep competing like this.
He has some wrap over his calf. I won't be surprised if that has something to do with it.
He's
But-
2-4.
Yes.
Yeah, something like that. I think I've also discovered that I love people who Hanka.
I am still mad about
So Chiyo Shoma
Chiyoshoma's
your buddy?
Hanka on day
Oh, yeah.
1. I'm still mad about that.
And then Ishiura, who is 4-2, I believe he hanked the ever-loving Christ out of Terutsuyoshi on day 3.
That he did.
That was bad.
Ishiro is looking fantastic. I think he had 4 wins in a
He
row.
started
right?
off 4-0. He wasn't all like Hanka's sidestep. It
only
was
did,
about
like,
half.
He only did like
sidestep.
one Hanka,
Hey,
yeah.
for him, that's good, though.
Yes.
For him, that's good.
So I would say like Ishiro's having a good basho so far.
Ishiura is having a pretty good basho so far. All right.
Jake, tell me more about myself.
Oh yeah, sorry, I moved on mentally. Let's go back. What did I have? Oh,
Fun fact.
It's possible that Mac is the world's greatest swordsman. There is no proof of this, though.
I keep
a-
my private life private for a reason.
Keep that in mind anytime I get into a gentleman's duel with
Yeah.
him.
I know he did give me a bow staff once.
I did, and I gave Jake a katana.
Which is how I know that he is possibly the
So
world's greatest
hold on, quick little
Because who else would have that?
side conversation here. Why have I never received a weapon from you, Mac?
You haven't earned a weapon.
That cuts deep.
Burn.
Cuts deeper than any weapon you could have handed me.
Hey, I shot you with my little Nerf gun there. That's the
now-
best weapon you're going to get.
I thought
You
he was
now
going
have
to
the
say
most-
love gun. So
No, you
I'm
now
happy.
have the most dangerous weapon Mac could have given you: depression.
It's okay. It's okay.
build me up just to knock me back down. I'm sure. All right, Jurio leaders at 5-1. We have Shima no Umi, the defending Jurio Yusho winner, and Mac woos because he has him in fantasy.
Hey, I said I was joining the hype train, and there ain't no brakes on this train.
Nope.
Yeah.
Chiyo no Umi. Have we seen him in Makuuchi? I don't feel like we've seen Chiyo no Umi.
I don't
no, I don't
know the
believe so either.
name, so no.
Hide no Umi. I know we've seen him for a basho or two. Is also at 5-1, and Arawashi 5-1.
I saw
Chiyomaru,
that.
you got to step it up, baby.
That sounds good. I haven't been able to look at any of his matches yet, but that makes me really happy.
I am taking an educated guess that they were all Hankas.
It's very possible.
You mean Arawashi, Chiyoshoma's dastardly twin?
Yes. No. Chiyoshima is Arawashi's dastardly gem.
Oh, it's the other way around.
The other way around. Yeah.
Oh,
it's pretty
excuse me.
dastardly.
Yeah.
Arawashi's the original copy.
Got it.
I would like to point out Fleric's blatant lie. Of course, we have seen one Arawashi match because we were in Osaka and commentated live for his first Juryo match, which he lost. Your presence is a bad luck charm to Arawashi.
It must be since I've actually kind of moved away, like from being a direct fan of that boy of just cheer him on every single time. He's starting to do well, except for that one match. I'm sorry I forgot. It was just such a long plane ride all the way to Japan and back.
It's understandable with the jet lag. We're all still trying to get over it. Our little shining star, Enho, our little baby that we just wish to coddle and
Sweet baby boy.
Just tell us how he's doing.
he's 3-3. He started off 3-0, has dropped his next 3. He visited Makuuchi, so he had his very first Makuuchi match on day 4. Don't remember who he lost to. Might have been like Kotoeko or somebody like that.
That sounds about right.
Yep. Go to Waco.
Steel Trap Brain. You're so good.
If only you could bring this talent to other areas of your life.
I really wish I could. But he got kind of slammed into the dojo.
Yeah, that
in
was
that
pretty
one,
bad.
and so people are thinking he might be injured because he dropped his next 2 matches after that.
Did you see how
Yeah,
hard
his
he got
shoulder.
hit? Holy crap.
Yeah, and he had a hair full of dirt after that one as well.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Our lower
Cool.
The hair, yeah. You don't see a dirty Chanmage too often.
No, that's true. No, you're right.
He's such a rebel.
Yeah.
Our boys that are just doing this for the love of the sport because he ain't getting paid yet. Hoshoryu is 1-2. It sounds like his size is kind of catching up with him. Might need to pack on a couple extra lbs, but I guess that hasn't stopped Enho, so no excuses for you, Hoshoryu. Do
Yeah.
better.
He's top
Do you
of
mean
the Kusha.
kgs?
Yes. That is slang for pounds and kilograms for all those who didn't follow along with that.
Thank you for helping out with vocabulary.
Say, wait a minute here.
We are trying to do better about vocabulary.
Yes. Do you have something, Flirt?
No. Well, now that you mentioned it, I was gonna say I watched one of Hoshoryu's match and one that I think the latest one that he lost. The other guy blatantly took off on his Tachai before Hoshoryu. So it definitely was.
It's Gyoji's fault then?
They should have called him Mata. He still it went on for a while and he lost, but he had the advantage at the Tachai. Maybe said.
Musashi Kuni is 2-1. Naya 3-0, and
Heck yeah.
Makushita, there he is. That's what it's called. Waki Ichiro back in Sandanme is 1-2.
It's all right. That's okay.
And down in Jonidan, Terano Fuji is 3-0. I know we had kind of an in-depth discussion about Terano Fuji in our preview episode, and I think kind of both sides of that argument turned out to be right. There's one side, it's Terano Fuji, he's a former Ozeki, he's in Jonidan, of course he's going to win this Yusho, of course he should win this Yusho. And then there was the other side, yeah, but he's not really all that healthy. It
But
looks
he's-
like both are pretty true right now.
Yeah. He's a giant man held together with chewing gum and bubble wrap, and he is able to win because of the quality of his competition, not because of the quality of his sumo.
Yes, I would fully agree with that. I've seen all 3 of his matches. He doesn't have a lot of power. His knees are imagine one of Tochinoshin's knees and then double that up and then put it on his other knee as well.
Ooh.
What was the silly, strange translation about his power?
From the butt.
He needs to utilize the power of the bottom.
The power
Yes,
of the bottom.
the power of
That's
the
what it
bottom.
was. Okay.
His bottom has been depleted.
Got to keep joke continuity on this podcast.
Yeah.
But because he is down in Jonidan, he is 3-0. So, I mean, he's going to be facing tougher people as he goes on because he's going to be going up against all the undefeated people in Jonidan. That means he could face off against Jonokuchi Yusho winner last time, Roga, who is undefeated in his first 10 matches. So that'd be an interesting match to possibly see. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Terano Fuji not looking great, but still undefeated. And with that, I think we are going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back and have a little bit of lightning round fun.
The Sumo Vault opens once again to bring you this timeless classic, A Few Good Monois.
Yoji Konosuke, did you order the Tori?
You want answers?
I'm entitled to it.
You want answers?
I want the truth.
You can't handle the truth. Son, we live in a world that has dojos, and those dojos have to be guarded by men with goombais. Who's going to do it? You? You, Ozeki Takayasu? I have a greater responsibility than you could possibly fathom. You weep for Tamawashi, and you curse the Shimpan. You have that luxury. You have that luxury of not knowing what I know, that Tamawashi's loss, while tragic, probably saved Basho's. And my existence, while grotesque and incomprehensible to you, saves Basho's. You don't want the truth because deep down in places you don't talk about at parties, you want me on that doyo. You need me on that doyo. We use words like mono-e, tori naoshi, instant replay. We use these words as the backbone of a life spent defending sumo. You use them as a punchline. I have neither the time nor the inclination to explain myself to a man who rises and sleeps under the blanket of the very judgment that I provide and then questions the manner in which I provide it. I would rather you just said arigato and went on your way. Otherwise, I suggest you pick up a goombai and stand a post. Either way, I don't give a damn what you think you're entitled to.
Did you order the tornado?
I did the job that I was...
Did you order the tornado?
You're goddamn right I did!
Coming soon to Scotty Karate's bootleg DVD stands near you.
All right, welcome back. We're going to do a quick predictions update, and based on everything that I've seen, really don't have any insight whatsoever into who's going to win or lose.
It's a race to the bottom.
Open.
Yeah, everybody is probably going to miss their Kinboshi pick unless Nishikigi can beat Kakuryu later tonight on day 7.
Yikes.
Other than that, it's just a toss-up between everybody. It's a fight for like 2 or 3 points, so no real point going too deep into that.
Yeah, I'm just really happy Shodai is doing terrible.
Yeah, that helps you out quite a bit.
It's chicken soup for Fleric Sumo Soul.
Yeah. Both of my like Kachikoshi and Makekoshi picks are 3-3 right now. So it's got me a little nervous, but also slightly optimistic. Could really go either way. It is important, actually, who wins or who loses this one. And if it looks pretty clear by day 14, 15, who is going to be the loser, we're definitely going to send out a tweet because we need suggestions for things we need the loser to say whenever we roll a dice to humiliate them. So, for example, if it was like Mac who lost,
Hi.
you could do a Mac specific one and be like, I hate Abi. Make him say ridiculous stuff like that. Make him say Chiyomaru is the worst and I hate his ugly stinking face.
You monster!
We could make Mac say that.
Good. We can also
No!
say, my name's Ryan, and I don't drive the bus.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I really
that is
can't
also
lose this
true.
one.
Which is a nice inside joke because Ryan always says he drives the bus.
I'm
That's the
pretty
most-
sure I've almost never said that, and you guys say that, and then I just agree.
I'm pretty sure you said that multiple times. We have chat records to confirm that, actually.
For
I
Fleric,
did tweet that I do drive that bus.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's true. For Fleric, I mean, we've already seen this one in action. We just have to have him talk crap about good beer.
You shut your mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it worked.
Yeah.
And if it was Jake, what could we make Jake say? He's difficult nut to crack.
I'm dangerously secure with myself, so I think you guys would have a little bit tougher time finding.
we can.
What if we had to make
I
Jake
believe
say,
in you.
like, I'm a little bitty baby?
No.
Do I have to say it in like
Yes.
slightly gay Austrian right there?
Is that what that was?
So you can make Jake say something like that. I don't know. We'll figure something out. But yeah, that's what's on the line here, people. So if you think of anything for anybody, tweet them into us before we ask for your suggestions. We'd love to hear them. If you have just not a person-specific one, also send those in as well. But let's move on to our fun facts. And I have a fun fact because we were talking in the preview episode about Tomokaze and how he had a very fast rise into the Makuuchi division. He has made his Makuuchi debut in just his 12th basho, and that includes Maizumo, so really his 11th basho. But how does that compare to some other current Nikkshi?
Well, I bet it compares very well.
It does.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well said, Jake.
Why don't, how will we possibly know how it compares to other Rikishi, right?
Enlighten us,
If
Ryan.
one of us had done a little bit of research prior to the basho and took in detailed notes on it, we might find out, oh, wait, look, I did.
Because I was studying Mac.
Oh. For the past
How did
2
you know?
years. All right, so somebody like Takakeisho we know had a pretty quick rise. He made it up to Makuuchi in his 14th basho. And once again, these are all going to be from Maizumo, so if it's from like actual competition date, just subtract 1 from everything I say. Onosho, somebody that we kind of think went up with Takakeisho. They're good buddies. It actually took him 27 basho to make it to the Makuuchi division. What about a Yokozuna, like Kakuryu? It took him 31 basho before he made it to the Makuuchi division.
Really?
That's over
Whoa.
5 years in sumo before he made it to the Makuuchi division. What about a longtime Ozeki, like Goedo? 17 basho. So
That's
that was a
bad.
pretty fast rise for him. What about somebody that is tied for the lead right now, like Ichinojo?
12.
20.
Do you actually? I don't.
Just give us a number.
Actually 6, but he cheated because he started in Makushita.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know if those should count. But,
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I heard Ichinojo was like hot stuff when he was coming up.
He was.
I
He
went
was
back to,
Sekiwake in his like anniversary of his first basho period.
Wow.
Wow.
That's
Because
so
he
cool.
came in his first basho in Makuuchi, he was at Maegashira 10. He went 13-2, won the Junyusho, got a bunch of special prizes, and it just so happened to shake out that he jumped all the way up to Sekewake in his second Makuuchi basho.
Well, that shut me right up because I went back to look at a few guys that we've studied in bonus episodes. Guys like Akebono who rocketed up the rankings. Akebono took 15.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, that's...
Takanohana was like, I think he was like 19, 17, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, is the asterisk of when they enter sumo. Like, you can enter from
Like-
Makushita.
Like Ichinojo,
And-
yeah.
Yeah, and some people, they start when they're 15. I know Kisei and Sado was one of those guys. And some
And
people...
so was Hakuho.
Yeah, there's actually a really good university scene in Japan as well. So a lot of these guys, they spend the whole time in university, and then once they graduate, that's when they enter sumo at like in their 20s or so, but they already have like 5 years of training.
And of growing. Because, like, if you enter at
Yes.
15, you've still got, like, 10 years before your frame is all the way big. So, like, yeah, I mean, if you enter at 15, even if your talent is there right away, you just can't keep up with the size of everybody as you go up through the ranks.
Or if you're like Jake, you could be 29 and your frame still isn't all the way big.
Yeah, shut up. There we go. We found the
We
thing.
got the fourth joke.
We found the thing.
That was the fourth short joke.
I've never heard that one. That's so clever.
You better eat your chanko.
Yeah, you're right. I should just eat
If you can't
chanko
grow
and-
tall,
No.
grow wide.
Yeah.
You need your Kisino Satos, Jake. That's what you need.
Little chicken legs.
Oh, dear.
Kisei.
Wait, hang on. We found something that he's a little embarrassed to say. We found something that we can roll dice
He
about.
still hasn't said, I'm a little bitty baby. So,
But why would I? I don't have to yet.
exactly. That's also something we can make him do. But I do have a little game about Makuuchi Rises. We have 6 people in the Sanyaku ranks that we did not mention before. We have Hakuho, Takayasu, Tochinoshin, Tamawashi, Mitakayumi, and Hokuto Fuji. Together, as a brain trust of you 3, rank them and how quickly they made it to Makuuchi from their debut.
Takayumi's up there, I would say. Goedo's
For
up
sure. Matakayumi got the
So not
Makushita.
Goedo's included because we already mentioned him. So the 6 guys in Sanyaku that we didn't mention before. So Hakuho, Takayasu, Tochinoshin, Tamawashi, Mitakayumi, Hokuto Fuji.
Or we
I'm willing to bet that Matakayumi
Hey,
was pretty
put
quick.
your-
I'm only looking at the Bansuke.
Okay.
Yeah,
all
no,
I'm
I
looking
can
at. Okay.
confirm. I can confirm.
But I would say Matakayumi is probably pretty close because I do remember that when he made his debut, he didn't have the full top knot. He still had the half knot that didn't have the full leaf on the top.
Okay.
And I know that he started in Makushita because of his university accomplishments.
All right. So we'll start with Mitakayumi at the top.
Sounds good.
I think it's probably safe to assume that Hakuho, just because he's Hakuho, probably did pretty good.
Oh, yeah, he actually
I don't think Hakuho would be next.
I know he started from the bottom, but
Right.
then he kind of
He bounced for a little bit.
it seemed to get to Makuuchi.
Yes, to get to Makuuchi. How many bashos did it take them to get to Makuuchi?
I do know he lost to whoever that one guy recently retired. I can't think of his name.
Aurora.
Aurora, yeah.
Yeah.
I do know he lost to him.
Oh, that's right.
Joni Dan.
The largest rikishi of all time.
Yeah, but I guess I still feel like he came in pretty hot.
I would say he's third.
Okay.
I'd put him at least third on the
Do
on
we
the
know
list.
of any other university rikishi that might be a little bit faster?
Hokuto Fuji, maybe. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I don't think so.
I will say
Yeah.
there's only one university Rikshi.
Then that would
it's
be
definitely
Mitakayumi.
Mitakayumi then. So yeah, I would say Mitakayumi's certainly towards the top. Haku is probably close to the top.
Okay, so Haku second.
Sure.
Yeah, I'd go with it.
I would guess that Hokuto Fuji's probably near that, but I don't know.
I'd put him at number 4.
Who you got
Yeah.
at number 3 then?
I don't know.
We got Takayasu, Tochinoshin, or Tamawashi.
I would say
I know that Takayasu and Tamawashi are kind of late bloomers to when they
Right.
became elite. I don't if we can extrapolate a little bit there, maybe they took their time to get up to the top division. But
And Tochinoshin got
possible.
injured. He went high and then got injured and had to fall back
Tochi's
down.
here too.
And it's
I
just
know
to their
he came up-
Makauchi debut.
But he made
Right.
it to Makauchi long
Very
before that.
Right.
So let's throw a Tochinoshin up there.
You wanna put him at 3?
I put him at 3.
Okay.
You had a 4 who was, I believe.
Hokuto Fuji.
4 was
Hokuto
Hokuto
Fuji?
Fuji.
All right, so we have number 5 could be
Takayasu or Tamawashi.
I think it's kind of a toss up there.
Takayasu Tamawashi.
I'll go with that.
Your overall was
How do we
pretty
do?
good.
All right.
Good.
Mitake Yumi, yes, he was number 1. He started in Makushita, took him 5 basho before he was in Makuuchi.
Nice.
Number 2, you switched 2 and 4. So Hokuto Fuji was number 2. It took him 11 basho to get up to Makuuchi. Tochinoshin, you had right at number 3. It took him 14. Hakuho would be number 4. It took him 20 basho.
Okay.
So it took him about 3.5 years to get up to Makuuchi.
I do know he started pretty small when he entered.
Yeah, he was 15.
started very
when he
young.
started, yeah.
I remember seeing some pictures of him. It's
We just talked
crazy.
about how starting at 15 was kind of a big deal and
Yeah.
kind of tough, and then we immediately forgot it.
And then you guys were right. Tamawashi Takayasu took them a while to bloom. You had the order reversed, but you had the right sentiment there. Tamawashi took him 29 basho before he got to Makuuchi. Takayasu took him 38 basho before he got to
38?
Makuuchi. That's over 6 years.
Wow.
That's almost 8 years.
But yeah, that
Yeah.
is my fun fact.
Yeah, there was a cool fact I saw watching sumo this past basho was his head-to-head versus Endo. Endo is actually it was 7-7 coming into this basho, and it's now 8-7 in favor of Takayasu.
That's a interesting one to have.
Yeah.
Even you'd think Takayasu would be far ahead.
Yeah, you'd think so. A lot of it happened before he was Ozeki. Like they were kind of even in the Magashira ranks. They have a lot back and forth there.
Okay.
So it's I thought that was kind of a really cool fact.
Yeah. All right. Quick fantasy update. And this one is going to come down to the wire, boys. Unfortunately, fortunately
say,
for us,
wait a minute.
our guest is in last place with 17 points. But after that, Jake's The Neck Folds 5 have 20 points. And then Flarik's Terutu Yoshi's Island has 21. Max, The Gamberizers have 21. And The Fat 5 have 22 points. So I am your fantasy leader at the
1
6-day
point.
mark. It still counts.
We'll see how that
It's-
goes.
Yeah, it's worth noting that we're recording this a day or two normally than we normally do. Or a day or two. Yeah, so like we don't we normally have a little bit more data to go off
Yeah.
of, but whatever.
But it's still very tight for us four. So this is going to come down to the wire for us. It's probably going to come down to like special prizes and the bonus points for the U-shows and that stuff. Jake, do we have anything for power ranking updates?
Hakuho's winning.
Okay. That sounds about right to me.
Accurate.
He's actually winning by a tremendous amount.
Dang.
No, I mean, not surprisingly, the guy who has won all of his matches and started higher than Ichinojo, yeah, he's in first place. And then we have like the guys that you would expect clustered, a decent pack of them, a decent distance behind him.
How's Takakeisho Tamawashi doing?
Takakeisho and Tamawashi, they are, let's see, Tamawashi's at 1088 and Takakeisho is at 1098. So there's like this pack right around 1100 or so. And again, like we've covered this a few times, but like our
below the
rankings,
pack. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. go ahead.
our rankings are designed with 1000 being the average Rikishi, 1100 being elite, and then if you have a runaway Yusho winner like Hakuho appears to be so far, you get into the 1100s. He's at 1136, so he's 36 points above second place, which by a
Second
tiny
place
margin,
should be Takakeisho or like Kakuryu.
tiny margin, it's Takayasu, and that's just because of the quality of wins and how everybody shook out and where they started at the beginning of the Basho.
Yeah, it would be tough for Yokozuna to get quality wins because they usually get the small prize in the beginning.
But if
That's
you
true.
always only win.
But if you always only win,
that does help.
it only goes up.
When you say tiny margin, how close are we talking?
We're talking Takayasu at 1100, Takakeisho at 1098, Goedo at 1093, Tamawashi at 1088. So within about 12 points, there's this
Nice
pack.
little chunk.
so it sounds like Kakuryu, having missed most of the previous Basho, that's kind of keeping him from being up. in
It
those
really
rankings.
hurt him. He's down at 1072. So
Okay.
like being gone hurt him more. So like he was starting from a weaker position than these other guys, but he is rapidly catching up to them.
All right, let's move on to the lightning round.
Grand Sumo Breakdown patent pending lightning round.
All right, Fleric, who has impressed you the most so far?
All right, let me pull up my notes. Okay. So I actually have a good three-way thing going on here.
Ooh,
it's going to
Exciting.
I have Mitaki Yumi because of reasons already kind of explained. I have Guedo up there too. He's like doing well. It's weird, but I really want to give a shout out to Ryuden. He's kind of been my guy. He's kind of replaced my dark horse guy. I just love and I want to do really well.
He's your new Arawashi.
He's my new Arawashi since Arawashi has been not so good.
Say hello to Jirio soon, Ryuden.
Oh no, please don't let that happen.
Ryan,
I
don't
love
do
this
that.
guy. So I'm just really happy to see him 5-1 in the Yusha race.
All right, Jake.
I'm going to go with a bit of a nostalgia pick here and say Kota Shogoku because he is using and succeeding with the strategy that that made him an Ozeki. Just that straightforward, grab the belt and give it the old 1-2 bumpity bump.
The 1-2 whoopsie do.
The 1-2 whoopsie do, and that and moving straight forward. It's really fun to see him use that classic style of sumo and actually get some success with it consistently so far.
All right, Mac.
I got to go with Oyama. It's been really entertaining to see him go. I've enjoyed his brand of sumo, definitely, and he hasn't decided to lunge and decide to fly. So that's also been a good thing. In the last Basho, he thought, I can fly, and it didn't work out so well for him.
He looked so good in his match against Kota Shogoku.
He did.
Yeah.
That was impressive. That wasn't even a match.
Yeah, which is saying something because Kota Shogoku has been looking great.
You might even say he's impressed me the most so far.
Ichinojo for me.
Okay.
He's 6-0. Really doesn't look like he's been tested too much because when he's tested a little, he's done. So
Yeah, there was one match, I think, where he ended up like doing some kind of weird like head throw against someone.
I think that might have been against Endo.
Yeah, like
I think so too, yeah.
that was like one of the cooler moves of sumo I've seen.
Yeah, he's been really focusing on like his opponent's head. Really, he's done at least like 3 or 4 just like pull downs and stuff. So he's not like trying to do Yorikiri Oshidashis. It seems like he's really focusing on trying to get his opponents off balance, and maybe that's a new strategy that he's going with, and so far it's working for him.
There you go. The Omnishiki route.
Yeah. All right. We'll start with me this time. Who has disappointed you the most so far? I think it comes to surprise to nobody. Hokuto Fuji starting 2-4 in his Komusubi debut. Obviously, he's had a very tough slate of matches so far, but hopefully he turns it around. The first 2 days, he just looked out of his element and kind of the nerves were getting to him. He just got dominated immediately. So hopefully he turns it around the second week, but right now, Hokuto Fuji would be my big disappointment.
Yeah, we all knew that he wasn't going to do well.
Yeah.
Right?
I believe most of us predicted a winning record on the preview episode for him.
We have there's no evidence of that.
We can remember this how we want to remember this.
That's fair. Mac, who's disappointed you the most?
I'm going with Ikioe on this one. We usually see him a lot more scrappy. We usually see him trying a little bit more, but if you go back and look at his matches, it almost looks like he gives up a few times. When we've seen him, he's been way scrappier in the past. From the last Basho, he fought like crazy. You remember all the injuries he had. He did well for the injuries he suffered. And this one, I'm just not seeing a lot of fire from him.
He is still injured, as you
Yeah.
probably noticed.
What?
Yeah, his
He's always injured.
he has
Not
like
Ikioe.
he has some kind of weird like foot sock thing going on his left leg, and I've heard that on day 1 he actually won in spite of a fever of 40 degrees, which is 104 Fahrenheit.
Flair, quick note, I do believe foot socks are referred more commonly as socks.
I don't know what kind of socks you're wearing.
He was wearing some weird foot gloves. I don't understand.
You mean
all about
hand gloves.
I'm all about the sock puppets. That's my main use of them. But no, he's definitely hurt. So I think that's kind of a big reason why. And he's
True, but it just doesn't look like he's really trying. Granted, he's hurt. I'm just not seeing any fire with
as
him.
well. His fiance did actually win a golf tournament this week. So
How does
And
that bear
she's doing
on
well.
his performance?
I don't know. I just have this written in my notes. I wanted to share it.
Put that in the fun facts.
And I believe up on the podium for her speech that she gave after her victory, which I'm sure they do in women's golf, she was like, I
Naturally.
really hope my husband sees my performance and kind of, pick it up, baby. We need some money.
Like
And doesn't go 1-5.
I can't carry all the weight. Yeah, she is making bank.
Yeah, she's cracking the whip in that relationship. Mm-hmm. All right,
Anyway,
Jake.
Jake.
Terutsuyoshi. We've seen him a handful of times in Juryo matches. He's always super exciting, super fun. And what's different now is that he's not winning while doing that.
Yeah.
Hard on the new guy, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I expected more just because he came in so hot.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Ryan. Terutsuyoshi was my pick. There's people who come up from Juryo and they do really well, and there's some people who just are not ready yet and
All right.
get smacked down.
Hold on
Let's
here.
do a quick thing. Fleric, what's my name?
Your name is Ryan?
Yes, and what's the guy who picked Terutsuyoshi as his disappointment name over
Not
to your
10
right?
seconds ago.
Right, you are, Ryan. Did I call this guy Steve?
Yeah, you sure did.
I'm glad that we are such good friends about this because if we were just professional colleagues on this podcast and we're behaving this way, we we would come off much worse. But we just give each other so much crap.
I was gonna say if this was if we were just colleagues and stuff, we would just let that slide and it would be a seamless
We'd
show.
all pretend nobody noticed it, like that one time that somebody audibly farted in the meeting, and we just move on.
Yeah. But no, we slow it down and we really kind of put the brakes.
Hold
to
on,
make sure.
Fleric. Did you just say Ryan when you meant Jake? How dare you?
You're right. What am I doing in this podcast?
This is the slowest lightning round out of our slow lightning round.
Today, this is our slowest one.
Let's get Katie in here. She can take my
Replace
place.
Fleric. All right, Fleric, before you go, why don't you give us your favorite match of the Basho so far?
Okay, I will have to go. I'll have to think about this one.
All right, Jake, what was your favorite
Yeah.
match of the Basho so far?
Hakuho Nishikigi. Nishikigi actually had a pretty solid shot on Hakuho. He got a great kote nage grip, the arm bar throw. Hakuho managed to stick in there, keep his balance low. Nishikigi actually torqued the arm. It was really weird. He torqued Hakuho's arm really hard, which kind of gave Hakuho the momentum to spin around and get the Morozashi double inside grip on Nishikigi, at which point it was immediately over.
Yeah, I believe
That was really fun.
Nishikigi torqued the Kodanage, and then Hakuho is way strong and won.
He forgot the thing where Hakuho is way strong.
Yeah.
And no, it was fun because there was danger, there was technique, and there was and Hakuho just showing off that I'm still the king here. No clever technique is going to get me.
All right, Fleric.
All right, I'm not as flustered now.
Okay.
So I'm going to go, it's less exciting and more so I just kind of someone using a good technique and took advantage of it, of the Takayasu versus Daisho on day 3. Takayasu, we know, has kind of the shoulder shiver, kind of where he leads with his shoulder during his Tachiai. But one thing is that kind of leaves him really high. And Daisho took great advantage of that, and he got really low and was able to kind of push him out. And so I thought that was kind of a great example of how to beat Takayasu. So I really enjoyed that.
All right. My favorite match is probably the most exciting match that we've seen so far, and it's one of the first matches on day 1, Ishiura versus Kotoeko. I don't really remember much about it except that it was a back and forth, pushy, slappy thing that Ishiura won.
A pushy, slappy thing?
Yes, a pushy, slappy thing.
Excellent technical breakdown.
Yes,
I think
thank
it's
you.
one it's worth going back and rewatching just for the drama of it.
Indeed.
Yes. All right, Mac, what was your favorite match?
Day 3, Endo versus Kakuryu. Just that smile that Kakuryu had at the very end where he knew he probably should have lost, but just kind of smiled back at the cameras going, I don't know how I did that, but I won with an Oshidashi.
Yeah, we've seen a little bit of personality out of the Yokozuna the past couple Bashos because we saw Hakuho pull out the smile last Basho, and now Kakuryu's using that as well.
Yeah, Hakuho also had the kind of screaming on top of his opponent.
Also
that was also true. That was against Myogiru.
All right. The most exciting potential matchup. Why don't we start with Mac on this one?
Hopefully, both Yokozuna make it to day 15. I would love to see a square off between Kakuryu and Hakuho because we haven't had a good old-fashioned Yokozuna showdown in a long time.
I would love it too.
That's exactly the one I was just going to pick, and just because of the context of it.
Yeah, I will say my official pick is something more for the drama of it, rather than I think the awesome potential matchups. Would be Hakuho versus Takakeisho, because they have it would definitely have Ozeki ramifications, whether or not Takakeisho can take that. And I know it's kind of been back and forth against them, so I would love to see them go off again.
Yeah, I'll kind of go off that train and say Takakeisho versus Goedo. See if Takakeisho can get revenge on the match that cost him his Ozeki promotion in the last Basho.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Thanks for bringing that up.
You're
That's
welcome.
gonna be a
Goedo
great
could
match.
Henka. It could be bad.
I would love it. Please.
What, Goedo
Yeah.
Hankoing?
I love all Hankas now. I've gone full evil.
No.
I've gone full heel.
There's a thread on the sumo forums that I found via r/sumo today. Somebody was asking about double hankas.
Oh yeah, I
And
saw
so
that.
there's a thread that they link to in the sumo forums where a couple of double hankas. One was Tochinoshin versus Haramafuji. Where they just did the exact same sidestep at the same time.
They
And
just
then-
like rotated clockwise
yeah,
rather
exactly.
than charged.
And then they basically did regular sumo, and Haramafuji ended up winning. And then there was a one from a few years earlier than that where they both hanked but to the same side, so they just kind of bumped into each other.
Ow.
That would be awkward.
yeah, it was. And then they proceeded to do normal sumo, and somebody won. I have no idea.
All right.
Let's see if some of you people did your homework. So back in our Midway review episode for the Hatsuba show, I had asked you if you could institute a new sumo rule, what would it be? And you all took that way too seriously and said, oh, yeah, we'd like to see more instant replay and that stuff.
Yeah, we have.
Oh, yeah.
I
we-
didn't take this seriously. So
Attaboy.
don't get on my case.
That's what I'd like to hear. To refresh the fans, the rule that I would like to see instituted is that each Nikkshi gets a Tsukebito on the outside of the Tawara to help them in any way, shape, and form that they may be. Whether it's their guy is getting like pushed out with Oshidashi or Yorikiri, Tsukebito pushing them back into the ring so that doesn't quite
Bumpers.
happen. Or maybe they're about to fall and hit the sand. Tsukebito dives and places their hand underneath their foot so that they're still inside the ring.
The sand? That's not sand out there.
Dirt?
Yeah.
Clay?
Hard dirt clay.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
it's
Whatever.
hard dirt clay sand.
But
Yeah.
that's a rule that I'd like to see jokingly instituted into sumo.
Yeah. Isn't that what the old people around the ring are for? Breaking the fall of Rikishi? That's it.
Well, yeah, but the Tsukebito would be actively trying to help the Nikkshi that's in there try to win.
Okay.
All right, Jake, what rule would you like to see?
I got two of them.
Perfect.
Day one, I think that before all the official matches happen, I think all the Rikishi have to be in the ring for a battle royal.
Ooh, I like it.
And the winner of the battle royal goes into day one with like a free win, like a head start, a handicap win.
They get kind of like a fusen.
Like
Yeah.
during the Dojo Erie every single day. Ooh. A battle royale.
That's a good point. They do.
Ooh.
Yeah, I like
Their
that.
Kesho Mawashi
And
hanging
you
out.
get a free pass if you win. And what happens to your opponent for that day? Do they just automatically lose?
I don't know, but I think that the Dohyo Iri, they all just take a step forward and they're all in the ring, and then boom, battle royal.
there's two. There'd be two people. On the east side would get one, and
Even
on the
better.
west side. So yeah, two people get a free pass every day, and then that takes care of your matchup.
I think the match still happens. You just get a bonus win.
Ooh, so somebody could end
Yeah.
up 30-0 if they win all of their battle royals.
And I think that's what sumo really needs these days. My other potential rule is I think that they should light the Tawara on fire during playoffs.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's the last match. You don't need it anymore.
And they make it new each time. That would make
They make it
sense.
new each time. Just light it on fire. How awesome would that be?
Could also bust it out for the grudge matches, like if we had a Kodo Shogiku versus Terunofuji match, the Basho after Terunofuji cost Kodo Shogiku his Ozeki rank with that blatant Henka. The next time that they face off, Kodo Shogiku could like call for an Inferno match and light the Tawara on
There you
fire,
go.
try to inflict pain and punishment upon his opponent, which apparently he did somehow, as we see where Terunofuji currently is.
Yeah, he did that with voodoo rather than sumo.
Yes.
But no, I think that would be a great idea. Yeah, at least one or two other times during the tournament, they light him on fire using like a Twitter vote to see what the fans want to see, which I think really goes along with sumo's hardline traditionalism.
Yeah.
Is instituting Twitter votes to see how they should handle their destruction of the dohyo by fire.
And then
Naturally.
with the Tsukebito around the ring, you can use your Tsukebito as a fire blanket.
Even better.
Yes. Flair, Mac, either of you guys have any new rules?
I do have one.
Okay, this should be interesting.
Since that going into these battles is a mental endurance as much as it is a physical, the Yobidashi must, at the time of each Rikishi throwing the salt in the air, must take some of that salt and coat the rim of a margarita glass. And each Rikishi, before each time entering and exiting the doyo, must down the margarita glass and maintain their poise at the turn of the tachiai.
So instead of
Have a
power
big
water,
deal.
we have power margarita.
Indeed, you have one. On the east and the west side for each Rikishi, it is observed each time, but before they throw the salt into the ring to purify it, each Yobidashi must coat the glass rim with the salt and then fill it with margarita mix, and then before the Rikishi can go in, must down the whole thing in at least 2 gulps or less.
And
like
it's
it.
a fishbowl, right?
Indeed.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Naturally.
Terutsu Yoshi's getting effed up.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's for sure.
But that is a test of both mental conditioning and physical control.
There you go.
All right. I just thought of one. So
Perfect.
The Bonsuke decided by a bike race before each basho.
Well, that's true. Now they can't drive cars, so a bike
Exactly.
race would make sense.
So you could have new Yokozuna every time, depending on who
Well,
wins.
yeah, whoever's fastest. It will be each division. So Makuuchi versus Makuuchi and Juryo versus Juryo. So we won't have like the lighter Joni Dans probably being the faster ones. So it's going to be decided like that.
And
Okay.
introduces a new Nash equilibrium of how much weight do you put on versus how much endurance do you cultivate.
Well, right, because we
Exactly.
could easily see somebody like
Game
Ishiura win the bike race.
and then go 0-15 as Yokozuna.
Exactly, because but if he's also going up against, he could stack it up so that all the skinny guys are at the top of the Bonsuke. So he's just going up against all the skinny guys.
That's true.
You know what I smell? I smell a bonus
Margarita
episode.
Oh,
mix?
definitely.
No, not the margarita.
Well, wait,
mix.
where's the margarita?
We haven't instituted that rule yet.
Okay, sorry. We could definitely turn that into a bonus episode. All right, who's gonna win this whole thing?
Hakuho.
Akuo.
Yeah, probably Hakuho.
I was gonna try to put a little bit more thought into it, but you're probably right.
I think if we take Hakuho off the table,
let's
Okay,
take
all right,
Hakuho
all
off
right.
the table. Who's gonna win?
I think it's finally time that Takayasu gets one. If Hakuho is still on the table, another Junior show for Takayasu. But
if Hakuho is on the table, he's not winning very many matches.
Yeah.
that's a good point. He's got to be on the dohyo, not the table.
Boom.
But Takayasu, I think it might finally be his time. But then again, I'm probably going to say that for every basho for the next few years until he retires without one.
Yeah.
I made myself sad.
Yeah. Flirt. If
It makes
doesn't
you
win-
sad, but makes me really happy. I love watching really good people at sumo.
All right, if we can't choose Hakuho to win, who would you take?
Kakuryu. Gotta go with that.
I'm going with Goedo on this one.
Ooh, he does have the home field.
Exactly.
advantage.
Home field advantage plus what we've seen thus far, except for yesterday. But he's been doing quite well.
You're saying it could be Goedo's moment.
Could be.
It could very well be his moment.
It's not Aki though, so let's not get too.
Oh,
crazy.
yeah, it isn't. Okay.
Yeah, it's not like him competing in Osaka has ever done him any favors in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with Flarek. I'd go with Kakuryu. I think he's doing pretty well. But that's going to wrap up our Midway episode. So go ahead and leave us a review on our podcast stuff.
Yeah. You can find us on social media stuff.
Our blog is now grandsumobreakdown.com
And stuff.
and stuff. Sorry.
Yeah.
You can drop us a line at grandsumobreakdown@gmail.com or give us a call at 805-613-7866. That's 805-613-SUMO.
All right, and we will have our review episode shortly after day 15. We will also have, hopefully, another episode or two of our Juryo live commentary. We're planning a couple other trips to Osaka, so hopefully we can.
We just got to get that private shuttle over there halfway across the globe.
Yeah.
So hopefully
big
we'll
deal.
have a couple of those, and hopefully you didn't hate the first one, so you listened to the next couple.
But don't forget, U.S. Sumo Tournament coming up March 23rd. Starts at 10 a.m.
Heck yeah.
Don't miss it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
In at least one time zone.
Yes.
Yes.
Which one? It's up to you to find out.
Yes.
All right, we'll see you
You
next
can't
time.
do everything.
Thank you for listening to Grand Sumo Breakdown.
Until next time.
Throw your salt high.
And keep moving forward.
Sound effects.
Good job, Brian.
Thank you.